exactly who wrote this book, it is believed that the character Jonah himself wrote it. Some of the elements of the story suggest that it may be a parable, but ladies and gentlemen, I give you a true story of love and forgiveness. I now call upon Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze, Dorcas Aung, with her speech entitled Love and Forgiveness. Love and Forgiveness, Dorcas.
The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up to me. But Jonah ran away to Tarshish from the Lord. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship and boarded. He paid for the full fare, and they sailed him to Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Now the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. Can you imagine? Have you taken a ship before and you're in the middle of the storm? Well, actually, it is almost like you're in the plane in the middle of turbulence. It's quite scary. So now, all the sailors were afraid. Each cried out to his own God, and they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But Jonah, watch this guy. But Jonah had gone down below deck, where he lay and fell into a deep sleep. Can you imagine such a person? People are so panicky, and he goes down and sleep. Watch this. The captain went to him and said, of course, so frustrating, right? So the captain said, how can you sleep? They have to raise their voice. Can you imagine, during that turbulence, it is also chaotic and noisy. Get up! Call on your God! Maybe He will take notice of us and we will not perish. Then the sailor said to each other, come, let us cast lot and find out who is responsible for this. Upset, isn't it? They cast lot, and the lot fell on Jonah. So they asked him, tell us, who is responsible for making this trouble on us? What do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country, and from what people are you? Now, during that time, in that country, this is not Assyria, but in that country, it is like Malaysia, where multiracial, right? He answered, I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the land. This terrified them. They asked, what have you done? They knew he was running away from the Lord, because he had already told them. So you can run, you cannot hide. The sea was getting rougher and rougher. Can you imagine? It's almost like, how did MH370 when disappeared? But in this case, they still have time to think. The 370 just disappeared. And so they asked him, what should we do to make sure that it comes down. Very frustrating. Group of people, they are in it, they didn't know how to work at it, so they asked this question. So he answered, pick me up and throw me into the sea. Scary, that's suicide, He replied, and it will be calm. I know that it is my fault that this great storm has come upon you. He knows her. Instead, the men tried their best and rowed back to land. But the sea just grew wilder than before. It's already bad initially, it got worse, and now it's even worse. Then they cried to the Lord, "Oh Lord, please do not let us die for taking this man's life. Do not hold us accountable for killing this innocent man, for you, O Lord, have done as you please." Then they took Jonah and threw him overboard in the raging sea. What happened to MH317, you know. And this man greatly feared the Lord, and the sea became calm. And they sacrificed to the Lord and made vows. But the Lord provided a great fish to swallow Jonah. And Jonah was inside the fish 3 days and 3 nights. If only there was a big bird, MH17 would be saved. From inside the fish, Jonah prayed to the Lord his God. And the Lord commanded the fish to vomit Jonah onto the dry land. In those days, he was fortunate. Then the word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. God believed in second chance, huh? And God said, "Go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim it to the message I give you." Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord and went to Nineveh. Now Nineveh is a very important city, almost like KL. A city required 3 days, big city. On the first day, Jonah started onto the city. He proclaimed, 40 more days, the Nineveh will be overturned. And the city called. The Ninevites believed God. They declared a fast, and all of them, from the greatest to the least, put on sackcloth. When the news reached the king of Nineveh, he rose from his throne, took off his royal robes, I'm not going to take off mine, and put on a sackcloth and sat on the sand. Then he issued a proclamation in Nineveh. By the decree of the king and his nobles, do not let any man or beast, herd or flock taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink. How can we do that? Eat and drink. If it's 40 days, I think we will all be very skinny, and Slimming Century will be out of business. And let them give up their evil ways and their violence. Who knows? Who knows? God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger so that we will not perish. Well, when God saw what they did, how they turned from their evil ways, he had compassion and did not bring upon them the destruction he had threatened. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't this the story of love and forgiveness? He loved them enough to forewarn them what he wanted to do. He forgave them because they repented. Ladies and gentlemen, love and forgiveness. That's it.